Hello and welcome to Pitch Invasion TV, and in this segment, EPL preview ones to watch, we're going to be looking at the players that are coming in from abroad that you might not know that have just signed for your team. Okay, so the first player that we're going to be looking at is Stefan Jovetic. Now Jovetic is coming from Fiorentina in the Serie A, and he's just signed for Man City for £25 million. Jovetic is 23 years old. I would say similar to David Silva in his play. He's more of a centre forward than an out-and-out goal scorer, so don't expect too many goals from him. The one thing that he does do well is his link-up play is absolutely fantastic. Maybe with an out-and-out striker in front of him, like Aguero, he could do pretty well. But I don't really see how him and David Silva are going to work in the same team. It's going to be one or the other for me. Personally, I prefer David Silva, but let's see how Jovetic gets on. The next player we're going to be looking at is Paulinho. Paulinho has just signed for Spurs for £17 million. A lot of teams were in for Paulinho because he had a good time at the Confederations Cup. But AVB worked hard and he got his man, it seems like. Paulinho is 24 years old. He's your classical centre defensive mid. Loves, linking up with the strikers, loves linking up with everyone in midfield. Very similar to Sandro. So I think it really could have a midfield force if Sandro and Paulinho were to play together. But let's see how that one plays out. I think he's personally a fantastic buy, although his passing isn't as good as some people may think. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Bony, who's just signed for Swansea for £12 million. Bony last year won Dutch Player of the Year, but he also failed a trial at Liverpool when he was a bit younger. He's been scoring goals, he's been getting his confidence up, and I think next to Michu next season, that could be a massive force for Swansea and against the Premier League. Swansea have to come back from that great run they had last season, and I think Bony and Michu up front is going to be perfect. For me, it's a bargain for anyone, including your fantasy football team. Now let's go to Southampton. Southampton have signed Victor Wanyama from Celtic for a record fee of £12.5 million. Now, the 22-year-old has been linked with some pretty big clubs, including Arsenal, Man United, so it's a bit odd that he signed for Southampton in the end. Let's see what it was that kind of put off those bigger clubs. Whilst Wanyama is strong, his stamina is superb, he'll run for miles for you non-stop, and he's a good all-round centre defensive mid, but his passing accuracy is on the floor. It's not that great. I'd like to see how Southampton are going to, generate him in the Premier League. I think, he's not so much your Yaya Toure that's going to just push up and, give assists, etc. But I think he could shore it up, if they're looking to stop goals coming in. The last player we're going to be looking at today is Ricky van Wolfswinkel, who signed from Sporting Lisbon to Norwich for £8.5 million. Now at 24, been around a bit. He started at Vitesse Arnhem, and then he's moved on to Sporting Lisbon, and his goal scoring tally is excellent. He's very similar to Javier Hernandez. His movement and his heading ability is really something. He will constantly get you goals from everywhere up front. So he's definitely one to look out for, and for me, I'm going to put him in my fantasy football team because I can see him being a big hitter in the Premier League next season. So Norwich fans, be excited. That concludes EPL preview ones to watch. Subscribe, comment, let us know who you want to see in our next preview, what players have joined your team who you can't even pronounce their name yet. Thanks very much. This has been Pitch Invasion TV.